It's quite obvious to a lot of people what the Commanders need. We need a pass rusher. Dorrance Armstrong is a decent player, but losing Dante Fowler hurts. He was a double-digit sack getter. We added Kinlaw on a defensive line. We have Jerron Payne coming back. We have some defensive line players that can play. We need some heat on the edge. There are some guys in this draft that I think they can get. I think they're going to have to wait and see and be patient. They may have to trade up if they see a lot of these edge rushers go, because everybody wants a pass rusher. There's no doubt about it. Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M, he's probably go. We know Abdul Carter's going to go to top 3 or 4 picks. He's the best edge rusher by far. But then you have James Pierce, Mikael Williams, Mike Green. There's a lot of guys that can fall to the Commanders, but if these guys start to go early, they may have to jump up a little bit. After the top 6 or 7 guys, it gets a little iffy as far as a guy that can come in and start day one. A guy that I have my eyes on from Ohio State is JT Tuamala, big defensive end. He can play the run extremely well. I think he's got a lot of potential as a pass rusher. He got a good spin move. He can counteract his moves on the edge. If something gets taken away, he has the ability and the strength to get off the blocks. He has great ball skills. He's an ex-basketball player. I see him a lot like Van Ginkel for the Minnesota Vikings, a guy who can intercept those bubble passes, all those screens to the receivers. This guy can defend them as well with his length and his athleticism. I like him if some of these big name guys go ahead. I mean, he's the last one standing. Another guy to look at is a kid from Boston College who had a lot of production, Donovan Izaraku. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but a lot of production at Boston College. Check his last game. I think he had 3.5 sacks and about 15 pressures. The guy's insane. One of these guys are going to fall to him. They just have to be very selective of who they're going to get. And I think they have to go edge player in the first round. I don't even care if somebody drops down like a running back, a good wide receiver, or whatever it might be. We got to get a pass rusher, number one. Then we get to the second round. I think you could be a little bit more creative. There's going to be a really good wide receiver that falls to him in the second round. A guy like Jack Beck from TCU, who's a really outstanding slot player. A guy from Iowa State, Jalen Noel. We already have Deebo Samuel and obviously Terry McLaurin. Noah Brown's a good player. McCaffrey is still coming into his own, but I think another weapon on the inside could really help as well for the Commanders. Then you can always address the offensive line. There's always an opportunity to get better and get more depth from, obviously we signed Tunsil, right tackle. Wiley's okay, but Cosme's coming off an injury. Algretti. There's also additions there at right guard and left guard that can provide depth and possibly a starter at right guard if Cosme has trouble coming back. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went defensive end in the first, right guard, interior offensive lineman in the second. And then we get to the fourth round, and I think we're looking at cornerback, maybe receiver. Obviously, there's some good guys at cornerback in the second round we could look at as well. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, he's coming off an injury. Zaria Thomas from Florida State, who's a great lockdown corner. I expect him to probably go early just because of his length and his size and his speed. Darian Porter from Iowa State's a very good player and a good prospect. And obviously, Dorian Strong from Virginia Tech, you might be able to get him late second, maybe even in the fourth round. He might fall. These are guys that are going to be productive players to go along with Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Sainer still. You can maybe move Sainer still back to nickel. So that's kind of a luxury pick there if you want to add some depth at the cornerback positions. Did you ever have those moments in your life that you wish would just speed up? The beer to pour in my mug at the bar. It takes too long sometimes. Or those guys that get off the green, for God's sakes. Just putt and get off the green so I can hit my approach shot to 3 feet. It's the exact same feeling that guys have when they are in the mood and are waiting for a full erection. With Rose Sparks, that feeling of waiting is over. Rose Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need secret weapon against softness. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue, and getting hard faster means there's no more waiting to perform. After Rose Sparks dissolve, they work in just 15 minutes on average. Roe connects guys with a medical provider 100% online. So there's no awkward conversation with in-person providers. If approved, treatment ships directly to the door. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off your first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/pocket to find out if prescription Roe Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/pocket for $15 off your first order. Round 2, very interesting. You got offensive guard, interior lineman if you really like a guy, a cornerback for some depth and maybe move Sainristil back to nickel back to go along with Lattimore, wide receiver to go along with Debo and Terry McLaurin to add some depth, and obviously another playmaker for Jaden Daniels would be outstanding. Then we get to the 4th round pick. Maybe it's time to get a backup for Bobby Wagner right there, an athletic linebacker that can run, because these athletic linebackers that can run are going to be a huge benefit to grow in your program, but also with the new special team rule, you got to cover some kicks. I mean, these are going to be some returns are going to be an issue this year. So you want a guy that can play both on coverage and kick return team. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but whether it's a bigger receiver, a bigger cornerback, maybe a safety with some athleticism, a linebacker that can back up Bobby Wagner, this is a very important position right now. You have 2 picks in the 6th round. You got to address the offensive line again for some depth. You can go defensive line. You can maybe find a sleeper edge player, maybe from a small school that can come in here and compete with Armstrong and the edge rusher you get in the 1st round. There's a lot of ways you can go. Mainly, you have to address. We got to get at least 1 edge player, possibly 2. We got to get another receiver. We got to address the interior offensive line for some depth. We could use some corner help as well to go along with Marshawn Lattimore and Sainristil. Very, very important. And obviously, you can always use speed at the safety spot. We did lose Jeremy Chin last year, so add another safety with some size and some bulk. I know they address the safety in free agency, but there's always a need for free safety and safety, especially when you add new kickoff rule for some speed and athleticism. I think there's enough good edge players where you say I can get a pretty good one and a starting caliber player in the 1st round. I know you don't want to draft need. You want to draft best player available. Well, hopefully that best player available will be an edge player, and I think they can make it work. You got to add a guy. If you wait till the 2nd round, there's a good possibility a lot of the good edge rushers are going to be gone. And I promise you this, if you have talent as a defensive lineman and as a pass rusher, you're going to go in the first couple rounds. So you better get one in the 1st round and not wait. You'll have the ability to get another receiver. You'll have the ability to get another running back. I didn't even mention running backs. They might want to add a running back to add to the running back room with B-Rob, and obviously Austin Eckler getting a little bit older. You got Jeremy McNichol still. But a running back is another opportunity for them to get better even in the 2nd round or 3rd round or 4th round with their picks. A lot of ways they can go, but I know edge rusher is number 1. Got to get it.